everyone. So it's end of August, which means it's time for another monthly reflection. This time I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into just how the first month or two of rotations has been and how residency has been. I've also been doing a lot of reflection on how I've approached things a little differently this year compared to last year. So a little background information again. I am a current PGY1 pharmacy resident in California, and this is actually not my first run of it. So last year I ran into some issues with licensing and had to leave the program, but came back this year after going through the whole application process. And so orientation and essentially the first two rotations feel similar to last year, but there are also a couple of slight differences. And mainly, one difference has been my shift in focus towards myself versus others. And that isn't to say that you should be more selfish and not be empathetic and my cat has decided to join me for the video. Are you sleeping? So the shift towards focusing on myself more versus others isn't to say that you should be more selfish and more closed off to others, but more so just really prioritizing what your own needs are while still learning to build and maintain certain relationships and working and whatever else that you might have going on. So for example, for me this year, I came in with the mindset, having been given the second chance, I really want to make sure that I'm doing my work as effectively and efficiently as possible, really paying attention to what I'm learning in my MBA classes. And not to say that I'm not developing and building new relationships, but I really want to make sure that I'm prioritizing myself first. Part of that too is because last year, while I was putting so much effort into building relationships with others, I felt like I lost myself in that process. So that's been a really big thing this year for me. I think also going along the lines of being more focused and streamlined in my career also translates to trying to maximize productivity and efficiency so that I still have time outside of work to focus on myself. So recently I've been listening to some podcasts, and a lot of them highlighted a couple of really interesting points. One is it's about prioritizing the hard and essential tasks first rather than the easy ones, practicing self-compassion, which usually translates to better productivity and attention. And productivity can also be measured by how well you can prioritize versus how much you can do. So those are some three of the common themes that I noticed during these podcasts that I was listening to, and upon reflecting on my progress with that, I think it's so true. What my goal has been during residency is to show that I am practicing and willing to learn during my rotations to build up my skills and my credibility as a new practitioner. But also, at the end of the day, I don't want to carry that work with me back home. Part of residency, because you have research projects, other longitudinals, and other topic discussions, etc., that you're expected to do. And so a lot of times you do have to spend hours outside of regular 8-hour workday to complete those. But I was really proud of myself this past month for being able to still present myself proactively during work to learn and complete patient care, my responsibility as a clinician on the team, while still being able to just rest and work on my other hobbies. As many of you know, I have a lot of creative hobbies and projects that I've actually kind of pushed back and delayed since starting residency, but because I've been really trying to work on this productivity, measuring efficiency, prioritizing myself outside of just work, I've been able to pick up some of that again and make time for it. I think all in all, reflection of August, pretty good about how the year has started. I'm adjusting to work life again while still having time for myself. Not to say that I'm not tired from working 12 days in a row sometimes, but it's really learning to prioritize, like, hey, when you do have that free time, are you going to go out with people still, or are you going to say, hey, I need to take a step back and really prioritize myself, and I'm just going to go home today and rest? And in many ways, I've also really enjoyed being able to just spend time with myself and my cat, of course, because it allows me time to reevaluate where I am in life, my progress in life, things that I might want to work towards, just a lot of time and freedom to self-reflect. That sums up my August. I know it's quite different from my previous video, but hopefully it speaks to how one can really put themselves to a task and work towards a goal if they really put their mind into it. I hope everyone's August was delightful, and I hope that everyone was able to also do some personal reflection for the month, and I'll see you all next month. I also hope that you've been enjoying the small little vlogs that I've been posting about my weekends, daily life, what it's like being a resident. I'm always open to any questions that people might have about that and about pharmacy or anything else that I share and do in my life. Always feel free to drop a comment. And if you enjoy these types of videos, feel free to follow along as well. I'll see you next time.